Gus McPherson makes one change from the Inverness defeat at the weekend. Stephen McGinn, who scored a wonderful winner against Rangers at Love Street in October, replaces Gary Brady, who drops to the bench. Hugh Murray is still suspended, so Gary Mason continues in midfield. Dennis Wyness misses out again with a rib injury. Recent recruit Mo Kamara played in 3 Old Firm games for Celtic. Scott Cuthbert is on loan from Celtic. Walter Smith makes 3 changes from the Falkirk game on Sunday. Nacho Novo and John Fleck drop to the bench, and Lee McCulloch has joined the long list of absentees, which also includes Barry Ferguson, Alan McGregor, Kenny Miller and Kirk Broadford, who misses out against his former club. Stephen Naismith makes his first league start in 14 months. There are rare starts too for the Americans Mo Edu and DeMarcus Beasley. The race for the title and the fight for survival are both proving equally fascinating, but the heat is on for those involved. High pressure, high tension, high stakes. There are 10 full internationals in this Rangers team. The only one who isn't, Stephen Whittaker, but his day will come soon. He was on the bench for Scotland against Iceland recently. Papac. Beasley. Immediately put under pressure. Thompson and Ross combining. Whittaker's going to have to deal with that. He truly does.
Yeah, he did well, Whittaker. Just keeping an eye on things at the back there.
Neil Alexander played his first game since September at Falkirk. Played in the run-in last season, of course, in some massive matches. And could be set to do the same again. DeMarcus Beasley is hurt.
His first touch isn't the best, Beasley. You can see he does just take a sore one across the jaw. I think he'll be okay though.
DeMarcus Beasley is all smiles again. Boyd for Davis. Whittaker. In fact, there's another man down now, this time for St Mirren. It's a bit stop-start in the early exchanges.
Where the contact actually comes here. It's a difficult one to see. He certainly has a knock. Well, what that has done is it's allowed Gus McPherson, if he didn't know already, to see that Rangers are playing a 3 up front, and he can organise his team to cope with that.
We saw one for Gary Mason. Marcus Beasley knows how he feels. So St Mirren temporarily down to 10 men as we wait for this game to start properly. Boyd. The kick goes against him and in favour of Potter.
Boyd in amongst things, as you expect early in the match.
Jack Ross with a throw, such a consistent performer since his arrival last summer from Falkirk.
Yeah, he's been very good for them. Likes to get forward, good delivery. I should say very consistent.
Beasley denying Ross a cross. Billy Memmott somewhat crowded out, booted away by Beasley. Kamara joined St Mirren in February after Derby County released him from a Celtic player. receiving end. And Eddie Smith wants a word with Potter. And Beasley is going to require treatment again. At least we haven't had many injuries so far.
There's more players on the ground than on their feet. Beasley takes a sore one in his lower back.
Gary Mason has had a touch of Vaseline and a staple, apparently. Ouch.
That sounds good.
Nacho Novo is going to be called upon from an early stage to replace Beasley, who does look in a bad way. Novo, who did start at the weekend. He was hardly expecting to be involved so early. Novo then will be on for Beasley. Nine minutes played. We could have 9 minutes of injury time in the end of the first half at this rate. DeMarcus Beasley must have been itching to go after making so few starts throughout the course of the season. He's being held back to his feet at the moment. Jack Ross. Davy Weir. Papac. Ross's header went to Stephen Davis. Now Pedro Mendes. I think Beasley might be coming back on. Naismith has lost it. Whittaker. DeMarcus Beasley, he seems to have made a miraculous recovery. Here he comes. Who's going to thump him next, I wonder? Well, they found a wonder cure for Beasley, who's brushed aside by Gary Mason. Ross. Cut out by Papac. It's been stop-start, but more stop than start so far. Peguera's clearance. Boyd. Mendes alongside him. Beasley not getting too much sympathy from the St Mirren faithful. Papac, Beasley on the ground again. Whittaker, Peguera, Naismith and Davis. Whittaker, Edu for Papac. Beasley ahead of him, here he is. Mendes, that's a lovely ball from Mendes for Papac. A Boyd! It's a similar story to Sunday. Mendes involved in the build-up, and Chris Boyd pounces again to give Rangers an early lead.
Well, it's a similar end product, that's for sure, but just look at the passing movement. That's something he didn't get against Falkirk from this Rangers side. Brilliant spy there from Papac when he does hit the byline. Beasley lays off. Mendes again with that first-time pass a la Falkirk. End product, Chris Boyd, right place, right time, never going to miss from there, but the passing move before that was sheer brilliance from Rangers.
Chris Boyd had gone 5 games without scoring until he went to Falkirk on Sunday. He'd never gone 6 games in a row without a goal for Rangers. 2-2.
Well, that was one thing that was obvious from the Falkirk game, that Rangers passing, the way they asserted authority, had to change.
Ross's cross, Dorman in the mix. McGinn, Kamara, given plenty of time to cross it. Turned away by Papac. Now Beasley. Chris Boyd's 26th goal of the season. As for the second time this week, given Rangers an early lead. They came nowhere near to building on that early goal at Falkirk on Sunday. Will they tonight? Some incisive football from Rangers that was for the most part lacking at the weekend.
That's why he's so dangerous in the box, because he always manages to find a yard, no matter how crowded it is. You see him in there centrally, but there's 11 passes in this move, and Boyd, he's just waiting to be on the end of it. And again, like against Falkirk, he started well.
DeMarcus Beasley is having to give up, and he will now be replaced by Nacho Novo, who's going to make his 199th appearance for Rangers. And there's been an injury problem too for Celtic, we hear, against Falkirk. Georgios Samaras has had to go off, and he's been replaced by Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, still 0-0. Celtic Park, Rangers a goal to the good at St Mirren Park.
I don't think that weakens Rangers at all, really. Novo in the left-hand side. It's quite a fluid strike force they've got, with Novo on one and Naismith on the other side, just flanking Boyd.
Novo won't be quite so easy to upset compared to Beasley.
He's one that's up for the battle, that's for sure.
Naismith poking that behind for a corner, giving St Mirren a chance to respond to Chris Boyd's goal. Dorman's corner, cleared by Mendes. Kamara just managed to pip Davis to it. Stephen Whittaker advancing down the line. Whittaker caught upon again in the absence of the former St Mirren skipper, Kirk Broadfoot. McGinn across. St Mirren are the lowest scorers in Scotland. Rangers have the best defensive record in the SPL. Buguera's cross, not much of a test for Howard, although he's made a horrible mess of it, and Chris Boyd puts it wide. An amazing miss. And Howard is mightily relieved that for once Boyd got it horribly wrong.
Well, this could have been more or less game over. Buguera with the high ball in. Should be easily dealt with from the goalkeeper. Novo reacts. And the ball's played back to Boyd. And you see, just a few minutes ago, in the box, not going to miss from there. This time on his left foot. Came a little awkwardly, but he should still be finishing that.
It's a bad miss by Chris Boyd's very high standards. St Mirren and Mark Howard fortunate to escape. Rangers in a menacing mood though. Nacho Novo. Fronted by Ross. Papac who set up the goal. Mendes. Davis. Novo. Papach was actually in the 6-yard box then.
Just under 20 minutes gone, and the passing from Rangers night and day compared to Falkirk. Really crisp and lots of movement as well. That's one thing that the 4-3-3 does allow you, and what you need to be able to do. Plenty of movement, changing places in midfield up front. They have players there that can do that.
Pedro Mendes in. Edu! Mo Edu doubles Rangers lead, and they look right up for it tonight.
Well, they just had that chance, didn't they, from Boyd to make it 2. It's a great ball in, and attacked so well from Edu. He gets up, just leaves it a little late, and then gets in there front post area. He certainly rises highest, and no chance really for the goalkeeper. Walter Smith delighted with the Rangers start.
His first goal for Rangers. Well, they were 2 up inside 10 minutes against St Mirren at Ibrox earlier in the season. It's taken them a little longer this time around. St Mirren did come back in that game. It finished 2-1, and they might have even sneaked a draw. They're going to have to show their powers of recovery again tonight.
Again, it was the influence. Mendes with the ball. He had a part to play in the first goal as well, and a big part to play in Chris Boyd's goal against Falkirk to win the match. He certainly has to take the responsibility on now that Barry Ferguson isn't in there. He seems up for it.
It's Rangers' first visit to St Mirren's new home, and they quite like the surroundings. Novo's cross, out by Cuthbert. Here's Pedro Mendes though. Gary Mason taking his time, but hanging on to the ball. There's a much sharper look about Rangers. There had to be, I guess, after a pretty poor performance at Falkirk and Gus McPherson's side. Rather shell-shocked.
He knows that when you play against the old firm, you need a little bit of luck as well. You need them to be off boil. And for your own side to be organised, no individual errors, tight at the back. So far, all that's gone wrong, really.
Offside against Billy Mehmet. St Mirren supporters in a hush now after those 2 goals for Rangers. A tough task just became a whole lot tougher. Still no goals at Celtic Park. It's quite tight between the Old Firm on goal difference at the moment. In fact, Rangers have just moved a goal ahead of Celtic. Whittaker. Mason. He's lost it. Edu, scoring in only his 8th game for Rangers.
Good communication there from Bagheera and Alexander. Defender being told just to get up the park, no slack back passes.
Unless they can soon launch a major salvage operation. St Mirren haven't even averaged a goal a game at home this season, whether at Love Street or here. Mind you, they had kept things pretty tight defensively as well. Boyd. Free kick given against him.
The two players a lot closer to him in Novo and Naismith. It's a little bit easier for him to hold the ball up and just feed them. Two players that like to come close in and work away with a striker, Novo and Naismith.
Patch quickly upon Thompson. Ross's throw. Whittaker. Could have been worse for St Mirren, of course, after Mark Howard spilled that cross and Chris Boyd missed a sitter. Stephen Thompson showed far too much of that to Sasha Papac. Stephen Naismith making his first start in the SPL for 14 months. Injured towards the end of last season. It's the first half of this. It's become a bit of a slog already, this, for St Mirren. Rangers sitting pretty on a two-goal lead. Davy Weir. Papac. Novo and Mendes. And Novo's away. Boyd and Naismith in the box. Naismith unable to reach it. Ross. Whittaker's header. Mehmet. Thompson. Mason. Kamara. Dargo. Dorman. McGinn has a habit of scoring against the Old Firm. St Mirren will be delighted if that habit continued. Thompson. It's a second go. Stephen Thompson. Mehmet. And Dorman. Mehmet's header will drop wide. A brief flurry of activity.
Davy Weir on hand to block a Dorman shot. A good move. Nevertheless, Mehmet just trying to get something on it.
Andy Dorman has been a major contributor to the St Mirren score sheet of late. Edu for Whittaker. Edu for Boyd. Davis. Mendes. Whittaker. Edu for Buguera. Steered away by Cuthbert, only to Pedro Mendes. Almost in the back row of the stand, unlike him.
Well, it wasn't very good, but he has been the first 27 minutes of this game. Orchestrating things for Rangers in there. So clever with his passing. Sometimes it's first touch, other times he takes his touch and settles things down the midfield area. Classy player.
The deadlock has been broken at Celtic Park. It's been broken by Gary Caldwell. Celtic 1 up on Falkirk. Rangers 2 up on St Mirren. Whittaker. Naismith for Edu. Mendes. Mendes again. Same place as the last one.
Again, it's good play from Rangers. Again as well, concise passing. Novo finds himself a little bit more central on that occasion, is able to link up with Mendes. They certainly have more players in that area with movement and ability to drag St Mirren around.
It's a foul by Billy Mehmet on David Weir.
It's up to Gus McPherson to try and help his players to find a way through. It's not going to be easy though.
David Weir had his eye on that. Dorman. Pretty aimless in the general direction of Dargo.
We do tend to say this, but it is all about the next goal. And if St Mirren can get it, then they can make a game of it, but otherwise, if it goes to Rangers, then you'd have to say it'd be all over. Still, if you look at it from that point of view, all to play for the home side.
Boyd. It's actually going to reach Whittaker. Didn't look like it would at first. Whittaker, though, has lost out to Stephen McGinn, but he has got a corner at least.
That's Whittaker as well. Didn't get forward much against Falkirk. Doing that a lot more tonight. That does help when you're playing three in midfield, a lot narrower. He's given licence to do that anyway when Davis plays on the right-hand side and tucks in a little bit.
Another corner, more concern for St Mirren. Mendes in, just over David Weir's head. In fact, there was a shove, possibly by Weir, and it will be a free kick. Walter Smith's first ever game as Rangers manager was a 1-0 win at St Mirren 18 years ago this month. Back for a second spell in charge, hoping to add to the 7 titles he won first time around. Gary Mason hoisting that away from Novo. Papac. Novo for Davis. Now Whittaker. Rangers going for goal again. Whittaker. Plenty on that. And it's evaded Novo at the far stick. Papac, who has turned into a steady performer. He was caught late then actually by Dargo. He's gone down rather late as well. He didn't fall straight away, Papac, but Ross's back pass was a little heavier than Mark Howard wanted it to be. Sasa Papac having to head down the tunnel.
He may just be going for a strapping on that ankle.
Don't want to make St Mirren feel even more miserable, but Rangers haven't conceded an away goal in the league in 2009. Not since Warren Feeney scored against them for Dundee United in December have they let one in on their SPL travels. Nacho Novo. Busying himself. His run brought to an end though. Christian Daly warming up just in case Papac can't return. McGinn. Dargo. Kamara. McGinn. Mason. Dorman. Thompson brings Ross into it. Promising little move this, and McGinn! Oh, and Alexander reacted as it diverted off Stephen Whittaker.
Not enough to make it too difficult for Alexander, but it could have been.
Christian Daly is going to be coming on for Sasa Papac, so Rangers have now lost 2 players in this first half to injury, DeMarcus Beasley and Sasa Papac, and that will see Stephen Whittaker going across to left back, I'm sure, and Daly at right back. He's only got one more substitution available to him, but then he does have a 2-0 lead. It's hardly an emergency. There will be a concern about Papac, though. He won't be seeing St Mirren again this season because he'll be suspended for the Scottish Cup semi-final against them anyway.
Yeah, and he has played well this campaign. Sasa Papac, very consistent.
Christian Daly getting a rare run out, although he did start against Hearts recently. Kept in by Billy Mennett, and even better, he found Craig Dargo. That's a terrible error from Scott Cuthbert. And Boyd slipped. Edu. Dorman. Ross.
Right with the goals, I have been fairly impressed though with St Mirren. They're working hard, they're trying to keep the tempo up, create things.
Whittaker. Bugera. Daly. Christian Daly skipping past Stephen McGinn. Edu getting greedy now. Edu scored already. Mason. Kamara. Mehmet. Feeding Ross. St Mirren need a reply before half-time. Andy Dorman trying to do his best to provide it. He's got a corner off Whittaker.
Yeah, good play again from Dorman. He always finds himself in those areas in the box. Just props up in there. Great engine to get box to box.
Dorman himself will take the corner. Cuthbert not allowed near it. Kamara. Levelly sends it back out to Dorman, who survives Chris Boy's challenge. Potter. And he hasn't scored for over 3 years.
Exactly, so it fell to the wrong man. Little wry smile as well.
Celtic 1-0 up against Falkirk through Gary Caldwell. Rangers 2-0 up here at St Mirren. Chris Boyd and Mo Edu. Stephen Davis. Didn't really have too many options around him, so decided to have a pop.
Well, Rangers certainly upper hand as far as goal attempts. 2 on target, 2 finishes.
That's the way to do it. Pedro Mendes, not afraid to do the dirty work. Edu. Potter. Edu. He'll be 23 later this month, the American. It's a foul by Chris Boyd on Jack Ross.
He's certainly putting himself about, Boyd. working very hard. Gets across Jack Ross on that occasion.
Cuthbert for Mehmet. He held off Bugera. Stephen McGinn. Andy Dorman. He'll use Ross. Turned away by Christian Daly, powerfully. Dorman secures a throw and finds Craig Dargo. It's off David Weir for a corner.
Well, it's without doubt St Mirren's most dangerous side down the right. With Jack Ross, Dorman gets out there as well at times, Thompson.
Dorman again. It's decent. McGinn not allowed to get near it. Mason's effort was blocked by Edu. Thompson returns it. Billy Mehmet has a stab at it. And it's another corner.
That's great play from the home side. Trying to put the pressure on. Battling for everything in the box. And Edu got in the way of that one because that was goal bound. Eventually win the corner.
Andy Dorman is determined to make things happen for St Mirren. He will take this corner again. Dorman delivers. It's off Christian Daly's head. Cuthbert in there. Edu digs it out.
It's a good way though for the home side to finish the first half. I'm sure they'd like to try and get on the score sheet, but certainly very positive.
Well, we've had so many injuries in this first half that there should be a fair amount of stoppage time. Another corner now, and this is a good spell for St Mirren, but they need a goal out of it. Dorman's corner once more. I think Cuthbert was expecting it to reach him.
Of course, they'd be hoping that one of these balls falls for Mehmet, top scorer on 11, but apart from that, take Mehmet and Dorman out of the side. There's hardly anything there as far as getting on the score sheet is concerned.
Dorman, another delivery. Daly's clearance ineffective. McGinn returns it, helped on by Mehmet. Some fairly frantic defending from Rangers. Well, Chris Boyd will chase this, but it'll carry to Mark Howard. We are in the last minute of the 45, but because of those stoppages, particularly early on, there's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. Rangers losing DeMarcus Beasley and Sasa Papac to injury, so having to regroup, but we do have a 2-goal cushion which helps considerably. 5 minutes of injury time then, about to start. David Weir's free kick. Dorman. St Mirren were 2 down inside 20 minutes. Your worst fears realised when you're up against the old firm. But they did make a game of it at Ibrox earlier in the campaign when they were 2 down after 10 minutes. They have to score the next goal in this game, but Stephen Naismith is putting them under pressure now with assistance from Christian Daly. Naismith